I'm very excited to talk about Massachusetts. We know that they've been fucking up royally. Well, here comes a little bit of accountability, just a little bit, we hope. Shannon O'Brien, the chair of the Massachusetts Cannabis Control Commission, has been removed from her position amid allegations of inappropriate conduct, including making racially, ethnically, and culturally insensitive statements. State Treasurer Deb Goldberg confirmed the dismissal, after an extensive review process that included over 20 hours of meetings and the examination of numerous documents and testimonies. Goldberg expressed regret over the decision, but emphasized the need for professionalism within the commission, stating that O'Brien's behavior did not align with the agency's standards. O'Brien has denied the allegations and criticized the termination process through her lawyer, Max Stern, who claimed there was no justification for her removal and accused Goldberg of denying O'Brien a fair public hearing. Stern likened the situation to secret trials seen in autocratic regimes. The legal dispute is expected to escalate as O'Brien's team is considering further actions in the court. Previously, O'Brien has been suspended last September due to allegations of misconduct related to former executive director Sean Collins, which she also denied. The ongoing controversies have destabilized the leadership of the Cannabis Control Commission. In the meantime, Ava Callender, Conception, and Debbie Hilton Creek are serving in interim managerial roles while the search for a permanent leader continues. The Massachusetts legislature is set to hold hearings this fall to address the commission's administrative challenges. And I just tripped all over the story because I'm so excited to comment on it, you guys. Racially, ethnically, and culturally insensitive statements, yet Ms. Goldberg said that she doesn't want to dismiss her, but is going to do so anyway. I don't understand. I don't understand how you could be like, I regret that we have to do this. No, if you're being racist, if you're being disrespectful, if you're being a shitty human being, you shouldn't be in a position of power, especially over any kind of bureau that has control over something with a social equity program. But I'm going to throw it back to you guys because there's a lot to comment on here. I think that there should be maybe Hochel's office should follow suit with the OCM in New York, but we'll see. We'll see. I'd like to see it not have to be such an egregious transgression for these government agencies to start moving people out instead of up.
I mean, Jenny, I wonder if that's what they ultimately had to use to get rid of her, because previously they were already talking about getting rid of her, saying how the whole agency was about to go into receivership.
Well, I mean, it probably should go into receivership if the powers that be are treating people like that, or people like this, and then the other people who are responsible for removing them in those instances of transgressions are saying, I really don't want to do this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is sad. This is a sad story.
I think Massachusetts has gone through a couple of the directors of the CCC, right? So it's like, this isn't the first time. It's I think it's about vetting the proper people with the right attitudes, with the right philosophies to bring in to run these, these governing bodies of a new burgeoning industry in a place like Mass. I mean, it's been years. It's been, I think it's been since 2017 that Massachusetts has been online with cannabis, like, sales. And
is it sad though? Like, I don't think it's sad.
I don't think it's sad
that they have.
It's sad.
I think it's sad that I think it's sad that people like this are put in positions. That's what I'm saying. I think this is very sad.
Yeah.
And it's not just what Saman said about the right attitude; it's also the right aptitude. And so we've seen this particular regulatory body not be able to get out of its own way, not be transparent, not be able to even get so much as an org chart out of the printer. Mm-hmm. And so they have been incompetent. And so these issues around sensitivities, which both can be cut and dry as well as subjective, feels more like icing on the cake than the real reason why this person is being exited stage left. The challenge I have is how long it took to get to this, because we've covered this quite a bit over a long period of time, and they don't seem to be moving quick enough to have a regime change to get breath of fresh air and new blood at the top of this department. And that troubles me for the operators out there. And the other thing that troubles me is she's probably going to sue, and they're probably going to settle, and it's probably going to cost the taxpayers even more money. Mm-hmm. And I don't understand that, having never worked for the government, like at will employment. You're fired, you're hired, you're whatever, but like people don't bitch about it. They go out and get a new job.
Yarrow.
I'll tell you
a little background context. We're talking about Massachusetts, and racism isn't that subtle up there. If you've been up there, look at the environment. Look at the political environment.
Are you saying they're better at being racist?
No, I'm just saying that a lot
They're
of people.
blatant. They're very blatant.
A lot of people.
It's in their blood.
It doesn't matter if you're a Democrat or a Republican. If you made it to a certain level within politics, chances are people have a ton of racist shit that they can find on you and will unearth for you. Just so happens that this lady was calling in the year of 2023 was calling Asian people yellow. Wow. so it's not that hard to point her out and say, get this lady out of here. The problem is the bureaucracy and all these other people getting paid, and yeah, it's going to cost them that. But this is the same state that when social equity first came out in the state, that they tried to say that number one, you had to have 2 drivers for delivery services. Number 2, if you're going to have a social equity business, it was a delivery service that was tethered to a brick and mortar that was owned by white shops, and you had to pay them, I think it was like 30% right off the bat. So this is the environment that we're talking about here. So that they set the stage like that from the beginning, and people of color and or people that are deserving of social equity applications and licenses, they had a bad deal from the jump. I'm not surprised at any of this shit, and it just is what it is. That's Massachusetts. Sorry.
It is.
I feel you.
No, it's true. And I mean, they probably couldn't get to the org chart or any of the policies they were supposed to work on or finding their job opportunities because they're too busy playing grab ass and making racist jokes in the office. It sounds like a complete shit show, and they need to just go ahead and annihilate the entire department. I actually co-signed receivership, and it is awful. I've been through one, so is Jason. It sucks. It's not a good time. But in this instance, I think a third party needs to come in and
I would just love to see a government agency. I would just love to see a government agency in receivership. Just that would be just ultimately so humorous for me.
That would be hilarious.
That would be so good. But shout out to
Jason. You letting your anarchist libertarian colors show.
I didn't even think a government agency could go into receivership. So now I want to see what would happen with it, just to watch. But nonetheless.
So I will just tell you that the California prison system was under receivership for quite a bit, and so we think about the worst penal systems as some chain gang breaking rocks in the deep south, and actually California has the distinct pleasure of having had its prison system under federal receivership back in 2006.
Interesting.
Works perfectly.
Yeah. Shout out to Ben LeBone. Shout out to Ben LeBone with a big old super chat who says, "Deschedule or bust." Deschedule or do nothing, you guys. Yes, thank you so much, Ben.